Jared.
Welcome to International Racing League Season 10 F1 at round number 8 at France. I've been your commentator IRL. I was Jared Lee Fosbury, joined by my very good Spanish friend, Mr. Paco Suarez.
Hello, everyone. We are back with an exciting round, I have to say. Hopefully, that low turnout will not be a crucial factor today. But I still think that we will get good action on track, and that's generally what matters. So I think there's already a car starting his lap, and that's Rocco Walsh.
Right then, Rocco almost loses the rear end there, like a gypsy. Trying to keep it under control as he goes into the second chicane. As we said, Rocco is on no line this year, and he's invalidated, and he will be a bit annoyed with that as he got a podium last weekend, hoping for another good result.
And Lee Kelly also invalidates. So at the moment, two drivers who have started their laps and they both invalidated. Let's see if Matthew is not the third driver to invalidate in a row. Hopefully.
Well, 26 I'm expecting from him. If he doesn't, he's a fraud. Right, let's see what he can do then.
To be honest, good line at the moment.
Yeah, perfectly. That's Matthew. You know, he's practiced this track. He loves this track. There's a sweat at this track. Hasn't been beaten at this track. It's just disgusting. You know. Matthew then.
Well,
into the chicane, coming up. Oh, very close. Almost invalidated. Cuts the corner, and that was a cut.
Really nice.
Not invalidated. But nice and tidy.
Nah, But to be honest, he has landed like perfectly, you know. It's just you cannot exceed that and you cannot go under that. Like, he just did it perfectly. And to be honest, I think the key of this track, you know, is just to tackle the apex and cut just what you need to cut. Because on this track, I have to say, track limits are a bit weird. So we'll see plenty of drivers, you know, exploding track limits. Right now, going through the final corner, what will Matthew do?
And a 126.8.
No, they bad lap to start with. Lodi just behind. But he had, he invalidated, yeah. So I think the next one, was Luis, 5/10 behind.
No,
and the following...
Cameron is next in the
okay.
Renault. Rear drift in there, bit of drift on the Renault as he's still struggling with the rear end with the wheel, and does a 127.6. So not a bad lap there, especially since he lost the rear end. So he's probably lost at least a couple of tenths just making that error. So you could easily do a 27 flat.
We have to remember to all those that are watching that Cameron Young didn't have a good race in FP, having a lot of trouble with that rear end of the car. He was in the Renault actually, so in the same car he races in F1.
Yeah.
So hopefully today will be a different story, but at the moment he's still struggling as Kevin crosses the finish line in a 127.9, which is not a bad time at all.
No, not a bad lap after all from there, Kevin. He will be looking to improve on that lap. As gotta say, Racing Point have had a few good races. As Lee Kelly then, as on an out lap as he left the garage, as we saw earlier on his first attempt, he did invalidate. And Edward is here. Paco, if you want to go on his lap, he is on pad today. You know, he said he wouldn't race on pad, but he is on pad.
With who you said? Lico?
Yeah, Lico.
Well, he's finishing his lap. He's on the final sector now. Really important this corner over here, going down to third. But generally, you have to go up to fourth quite quickly, if I'm not mistaken. And I think he's, thank you, Jared, for giving me a lap from a guy that was going into the pits.
Well, I thought he would have actually finished that lap, to be honest. He's in the pit lane, and what about Fleddy? Is he going in for another one? No. Well, Rocco is actually starting, so you can go on board Rocco.
Thank you, Jared. I hope he doesn't invalidate in the first corner. Well, approaching the first corner, he attacks the apex, locks up a little bit, really good. He attacks really good the apex again in turn 2. going over the curb before turn 4, which this is, no, turn 3, sorry. Now approaching turn 5, but never mind because he invalidates. So next in line to start a lap will be Lee Kelly. At the moment, 2 out of 2 from Rocco in invalidations. Hopefully Lee won't follow the same path as the William driver. Start his laps. As always, really good line there in the first 2 corners. Now touching that curb, the outside curb, touching both corners, right and left. You have to go over the curb there as well. And really stable exit from the Red Bull there. And to be honest, could be improved, but it's not a bad lap at the moment. Let's see what his second sector is. Approaching this sort of, well, not chicane, but left, well, yeah, I'm gonna call it a chicane because it's function, more or less. 48.4, the game says that he's on his fastest lap, but I don't believe so. Although I wouldn't say he's far away from Lewis Curtis, which is currently sitting on second place. So let's see how the Irishman finishes his lap right now, attacking the curb. Well, not as much as Matthew Older though. Really important this final run. Let's see if he doesn't lose the back end as Cameron Young did in his lap. And he's gonna close his lap, hopefully, with a really good time. It's gonna be a 1:27. And he's actually ahead of Lewis, so I was right. He was on a really similar lap to Lewis, and I have to say, pretty impressed by the Irishman who is able to be currently in second place.
Yeah, I've got to agree. You know, especially look at the Irish, as he'll probably be saying. In second place, 27.2, and he's beating his former Irish mate Kevin Harrison in fifth, who's on 27.9. So Lee Kelly there, looking on form, maybe a contender maybe on the next game for a possible podium, a lot of podiums. I know it's quite early on in quali, but Lee's usually not up there, usually makes too many mistakes. So good lap there from Lee Kelly, as hopefully he doesn't cut any of the chicane or anything, because if you do that you will get a quali ban, as people found out in FP with that, Mr. Joe Hollis especially. But yeah, we'll go on board with the bottle hog himself right now. Currently down the straight. Will he invalidate, or will he be able to keep it under control? As Paco called the chicane, I have to agree. Left, right, and then a little left there. Goes into third, up to fourth. Now gets a decent exit, cuts a bit of the curb, which tries to gain a bit of time, which he can do. I think Lee Kelly's actually run out of fuel, Paco, to be honest. I think that's why he's going really slow. Through the right-hander then. Sondre, looking nice tidy on his lap now, through my favourite part of the track, where you can make an overtake quite easy there if you get a good run. Into the left-hander now. Keeps in third, up to fourth on the exit. Hits the exit curb. Usually people try and follow that curb all the way around. Keep it within the track. Oh, big lock up there from Sondre. Like the rears sound like it. Oh, another lock up on the right front there for Sondre. He's struggling on the brakes. DRS activated. Coming down the straight now. What time will it be? Will it be a 26? Will it be a 27?
Oh,
27.5. Good lap there from
pretty
Sondre.
Good. Pretty good, I have to say. I mean, it's his favorite track, so well, or one of his favorites. So hopefully he'll be able to get his best result of the season here. And right now, well, actually, we were talking about Lee Kelly, so we're gonna go. Well, we were talking like 5 minutes ago, but from Irishman to Irishman, now we go to Kevin Harrison, which had a really poor exit and really going wide here, so his lap doesn't seem great at all. I don't think he's gonna improve though. But what will his time be?
Nah, he's on 0 ERS. He's not improving. Yeah. 26.
Dreadful lap.
Yeah. Bad luck, the Irish there for him. Well, nobody else is actually. Sondre and Cameron on, are they?
No, Sondre, no, Cameron.
Oh.
And Luis, no, Luis maybe. Luis could be on a lap right now. And, well, Matthew invalidated, so yeah, in order.
No, he's giving Cameron. No, he's giving Slipstream that.
Okay.
That's interesting.
So let's see where Cameron ends. I mean, he should be helped with that Slipstream, to be honest. At the moment, 48. 4.63, 16 thousandths of a second slower than his best, than his personal best. Oh, interesting.
Oh, rear end snap there, but he's remember he's going to gain a lot of time on that final corner as well.
Yeah. So he'll probably be in front of Lee Kelly.
Yeah, maybe if he actually nails this final corner, maybe a 26. And he had to lift off a little bit, so it's probably going to be a 27. What time is it going to be then? To the line. Oh, he's actually only improved by a tenth. 27.5.
Yeah, just ahead of his teammate. So not a big improvement at all. And Rocco Walsh finally getting the lap in with 5 minutes remaining, and he's able to get up to 6th. The question now is, does he have a new set of softs to try and get a better lap than that? Or will he have to conform to be happy with that? And that's qualifying over for him. We'll know that at the end of qualifying when there's 2 minutes remaining to see if he's doing another lap or not.
Yeah, he probably might have one set of softs left, to be honest. That might have been a second run. Freddie and Edward, of course, they're on mediums right now. The best lap for everybody are softs, except Edward, they're on mediums to invalidate. Lodi is the next one up then, Paco, if you want to go on board. He is about to begin his flying lap. Through the final corner he goes.
Okay. Now I got it. I was so lost. Well, first corner, attacks the apex really good. Second corner, really good exit. And at the moment, really good lap by the Haas driver. Attacks that apex really well. Not hesitating on the corners, which is quite important in the lap. 21.7, not a bad first sector, to be honest. He won't have slopes from here, but let's see if he's able to get close to Cameron's second sector. Touches a little bit the outside curb and attacks that corner really well. Really good exit by the Haas driver. 48, 4/10 slower than Cameron Young in the second sector. So we'll have to wait and see what his lap is like, but I think he's fighting with Kevin Harrison for 7th. And at the moment the Haas driver trying to nail this last sector, but doesn't seem comfortable at all. Going up to 6. Going over the outside curb. Now approaching the last corner. Really important the exit you get here. Really stable. I have to say he probably has a good setup, and a 27.7. I have to say that final sector was quite good. I think it's where he probably gained time to Cameron. No, but he backed off. So I don't think he really gained time.
Quali ban.
Quali ban. No, actually, you know what? Quali ban. No, yeah. I mean, I'm a steward, right? We can call, yeah.
Quali ban, right? It's qualifying for the race, you know, dangerous driving.
You know, time for revenge. So 27.7 in the end, 2/10 faster than Kevin Harrison. And I have to say, he probably gained a lot in the third sector compared to Cameron Young. So I have to say, Cameron Young has a lot to gain in that final sector, because remember, at the end of the second sector, Lodi was 4/10 behind Cameron. So if Cameron is able to get that last sector right, at least he has a 2/10 improvement or even more. So we'll have to wait and see what the Renault driver is able to do. At the moment, everyone in their outlap for their final attempts, and it seems like Rocco Walsh in the end had a new set of tires available for his final run. So everyone at least trying one more lap, and to be honest, surprised. Well, Brandon Glover going on mediums. I was about to say surprised no one else was on mediums or even on hards. So it seems Brandon Glover will be the one that will be looking forward starting on mediums.
Yeah, maybe that could be an interesting tactic then. Well, right now we're going to go on board Lewis Curtis, who's about to begin his lap via Paco. Lewis retired. as you were saying.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, go on.
Okay then. Well, Lewis then, coming down the straight now. Apparently he was 3/10 up on his time, but that's completely wrong. Goes into turn 1, a bit of a lock-up. Into turn 2 now, nice and floating section. The rear end snaps a little bit, keeps it under control. And Lewis, this season, has been proving that he can keep the car under control and not be a bottle. Another lock-up there, a bit on the left. Now into the little double right-hander. Got to get good traction and a good entry. And also a good line. You run too wide, you're going to mess it up completely there. Nice and tidy there from Lewis. Down the straight he goes, activates DRS now. Let's see what his straight line speed's like. Hitting the speed of 205 miles an hour into the chicane he goes. Another bit of a lock up there, really pushing the car. He knows he's going to try and get pole. And Lee Kerr then is also out on a lap as well. So we'll keep an eye on him.
Really solid lap.
Whoa, Lewis, 3/10 up. Lewis is looking good for 27 flat right now. Good, Lewis, try and get pole position. Nice camera view there, the Alfa Romeo. Nice and tidy there. Lewis keeps it under control. Nice inputs with the wheel into fourth. Oh, the rear end there kicks out. That's probably going to lose him at least half a tenth. And there's an Alfa Romeo cutting the chicane, it looks like, or just missed his braking point or something. I think that's Fleddy or Alfie. As Lewis Kirsten through the final corner. DRS activated. And the time is a 1:26.9. So that time could have probably lost him, Paul, with that mistake. But good lap indeed there for Lewis.
Yeah, now next in line to cross the finish line is Kevin Harrison in the racing point, approaching the final corner. We'll have to wait and see what the rest are doing, but Luis able to secure that for 1 and 2 for Alfa Romeo. What will Kevin do with a 1:27.7? He's able to jump Lodi. And next in line is the Williams from Rocco Walsh with a 1:27.2, enough to jump both Renaults. So a lot of... oh, Lee Kelly goes up to second. What will the other Alfa Romeo do? 1:26.5. What an ending to this qualifying.
What about Cameron? Oh, Cameron's
Fleddy...
Oh, Sunday's round! Sandra is round.
To fifth.
Jesus. Bloody in the 5th place, but the ball hound is off the track. Yeah, both Reynolds then invalidated, making mistakes, and the old man himself off the track. Not good enough for Sondra. As Brandon, is he finishing or is he just getting...
No, he's not on a lap. He's not on a lap, so...
Oh, I know what he's doing. He's not setting... He's literally taking his time.
Yeah, because he will start 10th no matter what. So he's just not using his tires to start in 10th with almost 1% or 2 of tire wear. So really clever Brander by saving tires.
Saving tires indeed then. Well then, here is your official qualifying result then. Matthew yet again taking the 2 points for qualifying, with Lee Kelly in second, only 3.5 tenths off. Lewis Kirsten third, 4 tenths. Rocco Walsh then has a bit of a deficit to Matthew, 7 tenths in 4th. Fleddy in 5th, good result for the F2 driver. Cameron in 6th and Sondra in 7th. Those two are starting to get their form back. Kevin Harrison in 8th, Lordy in 9th, Brandon Glover with a 48.3, 21.7 seconds off the pace, but still gets 10th. Edward and Alfredo didn't set a lap time. And yeah, well, it's going to be very interesting as we now move on to the race.
Yeah, I have to say, despite 12 drivers only, I have to say I'm pretty excited for the race. I think we're gonna have a really interesting fight for the podium. I mean, probably the win is already decided with Matthew in first, unless he makes a mistake, which would be a really big bottle from him if he does. However, cloudy conditions. I don't know if there's rain involved, to be honest. Because maybe that's the reason why most of the drivers qualified on softs, despite the low turnout. So intrigued by what could happen here, Jared, to be honest.
Well, the weather is cloudy, as we've said, so here's going to be interesting then. With 12 drivers, is there going to be rain late in the race? Maybe that was a decision for Brand to go mediums, or is there going to be rain early on, as a lot of people did to go on softs? But there might not even be rain at all, as the F1 tier has had. Only rain, I believe, once or twice in quali, and not in the race for a while, to be fair. As Matthew leads the formation lap. And did you say your prediction for the race? Paco?
Let's see. Matthew in first, I would say.
Oh, somebody's took out Bollard or Brett Mortarboard.
If someone breaks the marker, bro, there's gonna be
Big
angry
penalties.
people. Yeah, big penalties and angry people. But yeah, Matthew in first. I'm gonna put Rocco Walsh in second. And Luis in third, and as you always ask, fourth as well, Lee Kelly in fourth.
Well, we both can agree Matthew obviously is going to win the race. It's his track. Second, I'm going to go with the youngster. I think Lee's got a chance to take second again. I think he took second or third last time out. Lewis, I'm going to go fourth. Third, on the other hand, I'm going to go with the old man. I think Mr. Sondre Sohaug has got a chance today. I think he might show us a surprise. If he gets out of any penalties and any carnage into turn one, and a couple of laps as well, I think he could actually be up there for a podium. He likes the track, as we've said. And it ain't a joke me actually putting him there. I think he could get third if he nails it. But it is the Ballhaug. He does have that name for a reason. It's a very rare occasion that he nails it, as Lee Kelly almost rears. It hits the rear of Matthew Order there. And there's a few people on hard tyres though, Paco. Edward and Alfie on hard tyres. Interesting.
Yeah, it's what I said. So this probably, how would you say, discard the chance of rain?
Oh, yeah.
I would say.
Mm.
So it's kind of interesting to see how it plays out. We have to remember that Lickle is on pad and he's not used to that, so we'll see how his race pace looks like. But Alfie, on the other hand, should look interesting in those hards. So let's see where he finishes. I think it's gonna be the one that overtakes the most. So it's gonna be interesting.
Okay then. Well, while we go on board with Matthew Order, as the grid's already messing up for some reason. As we have 5 red lights then. For round 8, IRL F1, France then. And Matthew has an okay start, but look at Lee Kelly, the youngster, already on the outside of Matthew Order. Will Lee go for a dive? Oh no, Matthew activates ERS. Lee just backs off, but he holds second for now. And no carnage, it looks like. Oh, look at Lewis Curtis, already losing position to Rocco Walsh. And they're fighting side by side now into the chicane, as the cars going side by side everywhere right now.
Yeah, and Matthew holds first place, and at the moment behind seems like a lot of people trying to look for an overtake, but seems pretty stable, to be honest. I think everything has remained the same except Alfie that has overtaken one spot, as well as Lee Kelly. Yeah. No, sorry, Lee Kelly was actually second, so yeah, never mind.
Lee,
everything is the same.
So, well, actually, no, not really. Sandra's actually jumped the position to 6th, so the old man himself is already on the attack, and he's probably going to go for Flay next.
And Edward overtaking Alfie back, so these two fighting for position. I don't know how Lickle's pace is, but if he's not that quick, I think Alfie should be clever and overtake him as soon as possible and try to pull a gap. But Cameron pretty close to his teammate though.
Yeah, I was just going to actually ask that. With the interval for you, does it say minus 0051? Because mine it does.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know if that's either him in decent.
It's a glitch. I believe when they cross the finish line, it will fix.
Oh Lord, he's looking hungry. Oh Lord, he is looking hungry. He's going for the inside.
Really massive lockup. Yeah, really big mistake by Cameron Young, to be honest. As we can see, the thing. Yeah, now it's fixed. And Lodi will go for the inside. No, he doesn't.
He backs off.
Smart driving. Yeah. And
not doing that bad.
everything is pretty settled now. Matthew looking like he's gonna extend his lead. Yep. As now I don't know if the game has shown the predicted pit stop strategy, which is no way near to be correct.
Well, to be fair, you could do a 2-stop. The 1-stop is quicker, obviously soft to hard, but it's only a couple of seconds quicker. And if you're Matthew, with the pace gap he has and the pace advantage, if it was him, I'd do the 2-stop.
You know, I think if I was Matthew from now on, I would start at the back of the grid, you know, just to make it interesting. But yeah, 1.2 is the gap between second place and first. And meanwhile, behind, I mean, from 2nd to 12th, everyone is in DRS range at the moment. So this is looking interesting, to be honest. I mean, if we remove the Matthew from the equation.
Lord, sorry to cut you off there, Paco. Lordy just went on the inside. Cameron wide there. Cameron has made an error, and Lordy then grabs the position and is now in between a Renault sandwich.
Yeah, let's see how Lordy's pace is. I mean, he should be able to catch Sondre, but we'll have to wait and see. And was there no one was going into the pits. And as I said, I mean, if we removed Matthew from the equation, this would be an open race. I mean, an open race for the win. So pretty excited. Oh, and Cameron having trouble, to be honest. I mean, he doesn't stop locking up the tires. He doesn't look comfortable in that Renault. Seems like he's struggling in this track, and he doesn't seem like he can gain back that confidence.
Well, confidence is a big thing in the top tier, and right now Lloyd's having a lot of it because now he's trying to challenge Sondre Sohal, gain 6th position. And Sondre has now lost DRS from Fleddy as it is activated this lap. So right now there's a 4-car fight, well actually technically a 5-car fight for second. No, sorry, 4-car fight for second, as Matthew's actually got a gap of 2.3 seconds. Jesus.
And you can see Sondre pushing, using all his DRS to get back into that DRS range, because as we saw in FP, DRS is, I mean, being in a DRS train is key here, because if not you lose a lot of time, and losing the train would mean losing the chance to be on the podium. So Sondre has to find a way to get back into that DRS range, which seems he's managing to do. Although it will be close, we'll have to wait and see now, approaching the final corners. Will Sondre be able to get into that DRS range? It seems like it, and he indeed is.
Well, Sondre then in 6th position, as you said, is getting back to DRS. We're going on board with Lewis Curtis for now, as he's trying to catch up with Lee Kelly. He's getting close now, and both drivers literally saving their DRS. Matthew now 2.8 second gap. So it's Lee versus Lewis. Red Bull and Alfa Romeo, youngster versus bottler, I would say, or crash happy Lewis Curtis. Well, I'm not wrong, to be honest. He knows that, and he says it himself. Singapore, Abu Dhabi, you know. And ironically, he was in that car. So let's see what Lewis can do. As he's going to have DRS. Easy, has to be. Don't count out Fleddy though. He's not that far out. And easy overtake there. Will Lee go for another dive? No, he stays behind. Gap now 3 seconds between him and his teammate, and there's an overtake further behind.
Oh, Edward overtaking Kevin, so his pace is not bad
Kevin got
at
front
all.
wing damage. Kevin has lost an end plate, so he has been into a bit of issue with a certain driver. By any chance, is that Cameron or Brandon? Because they were close.
And now it's Alfie looking tasty on that overtake. Will he go down the inside? And he does. I mean, amazing dive by the Alpha Tauri, but that front wing damage, I mean, seems like orange, I would say. So probably he lost a lot of grip into that corner. And as I said with Sondre, Lickle is in the same situation. He needs to get into that DRS range, which he won't be able to get in here, as he's further behind from that 1 second gap. But hopefully for that long straight, he will be able to gain that DRS back. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh, Kevin, even with the front wing damage, didn't decide to pit. Still close to Alfie. But we are going to go, as we said, back on Lordy. So, hang on, when did Lee Kelly... Oh, sorry, that was my brain.
Come on, Jared, you were 20,
no, I thought he went back in second. For some reason. Lee then in third, not far from Lewis, and these two are now starting to pull a gap between Rocco. Gap's 6'10", same gap between Lee and Lewis though. Is Lee going to actually catch back up?
I mean, he's not using ERS compared to Lewis, which he did use. Lewis so it seems like Lee is driving smarter at the moment, and now he overtaking Legal. But watch out, because Legal will try to have the switchback. But the gap now to Brown is 2 seconds, so they are losing that train, although they are on a hard. And we'll have to keep that in mind. Will Legal try the overtake back though? Will he dive? No, I don't think he won't. Oof, he was close to hitting Alfie in the rear. but it didn't happen, so all good.
I thought I saw drops of rain then for a second.
Keep dreaming.
I would love some rain right now. It would actually flip things on its head if it literally just chucked it down as Matthew went across the finish line and everyone went in for intermediates. Very interesting. Because then Matthew would have to fight all the way back up, and he probably would get it. As a massive lock up behind. I think that was Sandra Sohaug, possibly. I think he did a big lock up there, and he has used a bit more ERS now, 48%. And Lodi is getting closer every lap.
And watch out to Lee, because I don't know if he'll try the overtake though. Luis seems... I don't know if he'll use overtake or not. At the moment, Lee... I don't think Lee is interested in making the overtake, and he's just using the DRS to try and keep himself close. Which I'm surprised, because despite his young age, he's driving quite smart, to be honest, in this race.
Oh yeah, he is. You know, he's saving his ERS. He's not wanting a fight, which could cost him time. He knows he's not going to win. He's being smart. He already knows. None of these drivers are expecting to win, since Matthew is dominating. But you never know. Anything can happen. We've seen Alfie beat Matthew with a bit of luck. So, to be honest, Lee could even still... Oh my god. I thought like that camera angle wasn't a good camera angle for that. I thought Lewis made a massive mistake. He's in the pits. Lewis then, and Rocco, and Cameron Young peeling into the pit lane then.
They'll go hard from here, I believe.
Yeah, there's no way the mediums will make it, unless they're doing a two-stop. But mediums will definitely not make it from this distance. It did on last year's game.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Sorry, Zog then, into fourth place.
To be honest, this could be the chance
For Lee.
from Fleddy and Sondre to try and do the uppercut. I mean, the undercut is quite powerful here, I have to say. But the fact none of them are gonna be in
Lee's burning, yep.
in a DRS train might give them a chance to reduce the gap. Let's see if Lee decides to use some ERS in here. I mean, he could use it. He's gonna gain it back in the pits.
Brian is making a move on Lodi now. And that's going to cost him a bit of time. Bran then makes the move very easy there, and he is on a mission right now on those medium tyres. So he feels he has the pace quicker than the soft runners. But it's going to be interesting how Bran's strategy works compared to the guys on fresh hards, as we've said. They're not going to be quick on lap 1, but on lap 2 the tyres would have been warmed up. So it'll be very interesting where Bran comes out in all this, as obviously the top 4 have to pit this lap.
Yeah, as we can see Cameron picking up a 3-second time penalty, and let's see Lee Kelly will pit on this lap. Yes, he does, as well as Matthew. And let's see where they emerge.
No, that's...
And I have to say, Sondre's entry into the pit has been just perfect. I mean, in the limit of legality, but being able to not exceed speed limits. Let's see where they emerge on track.
On board with Lee right now. Ooh, very close there between the Renault and the AlphaTauri. Lee Kerr then leaving the pit lane in a couple of seconds. He's now spinning those tyres.
He's going to be behind the Williams.
Oh yeah, he is. He hasn't gained that much
not.
Very close there. What about Sandra Sohaug? He's now into 11th position. Cameron Young's jumped his teammate. So Cameron had some pace there, even with the 3-second penalty he got. So good there for Cameron.
I mean, the undercut was what was expected. As I said, the undercut on this track is quite powerful, and we've seen it here as Brandon picks up a 3-second time penalty, and that's going to be crucial, because if he had any hope of podium, that penalty is going to cost him quite expensive. So let's see.
Why is the Lodi stayed out?
No idea. No idea. Maybe because he thinks with DRS and all that, he might be able to do something different. But if I was him, I would have pitted. As well as Lee, I still don't understand why Lee Kelly stayed one more lap when he saw just in front that Luis was pitting. You know, I mean, he needed that DRS train. So I don't know why why he didn't pit. As we can see, Luis has now a gap of 2.2. And let's see where Lodi gets back on track.
Yeah,
I would say
Lodi
it's going to be in between the Renaults. Or maybe it was an optimistic call.
I don't know. Yeah, he's lost too much time.
Nah, yeah.
Bad decision there
Yeah,
for Lodi.
he's just 2.2 behind.
Wow, no. As Brandon 1.3 ahead of Alfie now on the mediums. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting how quick Matthew catches up to Edward, because gap's around about 10.2 seconds. So, Matthew might even be able to get ahead of these guys and before they make their pit stops.
Well, yeah, and I have to say the fight for third place is going to be exciting because we have plenty of drivers there in DRS range behind Lee. And right now, Lee, I mean, he's not going to be able to escape from Rocco, so it's going to be interesting how this unfolds. As well, it's going to be interesting as well what Alfie, Lico, and Bran do, because I don't know what Bran will do. I mean, he's on mediums, but will he go softs?
It's very interesting, to be honest. What will he do? Because the strategy for him usually would be medium hard. But if he wants to try and do one of his back off and just snail pace instead of tyres and hold everyone up, medium to soft to go for the fastest lap, it could be reachable. And as I believe Matthew this season hasn't even got the fastest lap this year, because Brandon robbed it from him last week, as it looked like Matthew was going to take the quadruple, where he got the quality points, pole position obviously, and first in the race and the fastest lap. Unfortunately, he didn't get that in the end, as Brand did just take that off him. So it's going to be interesting. And let's actually have a look at the current fastest lap right now. It is held by Matthew Older, currently a 1:31.781 as we speak. Currently in fourth position and is gaining now 9.5 seconds. He was 10.2 last time out, and he's now 9.5. Is Rocco going for a move?
What?
Ooh. I thought Rocco was going to go for a dive, then he was actually getting quite a lot there, but he didn't go for it. And Lee still saved his ERS though, Paco.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need to use it unless Rocco decides to launch a dive bomb, but at the moment, I mean, probably this is going to be decided in the final laps as Brandon pits, so he's going to go hard. Interesting call by Brandon. Which, I don't know where he will...
He'll be where Lordy is, I believe. Because surely he's not going to be...
Let's wait and see. Yeah, indeed, he's going to be behind the Renaults. Yeah. And I think Lodi is going to get side by side. No. Brand much ahead. And I don't really understand the strategy by Brand because, okay, I mean, he's in fresher hot, but I don't think it gives you that much of an advantage, does it?
Well, as we saw in FP, some of the guys in top cars were having issues with the tyres, but I don't know. Matthew did say he was in the Alpha Romeo, I believe, the Haas or something like that, and his tyres at the end in FP were like 80s, so... and these are equal. So I don't know. To be honest, hards, they're going to be probably the 60 to 70 at the end from lap 5. But Bran, obviously, probably going to be on 50 near the end. That fresh of tyre could help him. And he's already starting to catch up with Sondre already. Gap now 1.6 seconds. So Bran, even though we might not agree with the strategy, could be one to watch out because, you know, he's probably looking for another podium.
Yeah, definitely. But at the moment, well, actually, Bran has. Oh, this is interesting. 1.5. But at the moment, doesn't seem like no one is. I mean, we see plenty of drivers close, a bit within each other, but no one is trying to go for a move, although Fletty could be quite close from making a move, as he is only 3/10 behind Rocco Walsh, and now it was Edwards who got a 3-second time penalty, which will be added at the end of the race. Only 4 drivers have a penalty at the moment.
That is true.
And let's see what happens, because it's gonna be an important part. I mean, Cameron right now, as well as Bran, I would say they are pretty much discarded to take a podium today, unless they pull out a miracle, you know, and they have a pace we haven't seen. But at the moment, it seemed like it could be. Oh, yellow flag sector 2. That's Kevin Harrison.
Point. He's lost the
Well,
rear
the
end.
only racing point.
Yeah, and I don't know if I think he just jammed the overtake on and he just lost the rear. So the Irishman struggling for pace at the French track. But back on board with Lee Kelly then, as Rocco Walsh then behind, and Fleddy, look how it's getting close now. Luddy is catching up, so we have a nice little scrap for a 3rd position. As you've said, we're going to discard Brandon and Karen because they've got penalties, but as I said, they could have some luck, to be honest, as Sandra Sohaug's getting a bit close to the Renault of Cameron. Maybe the Renaults may have team orders where Sandra hasn't got a penalty yet, and may say, here Karen, I can go faster, I probably can pass these guys, and I've got a chance to get a podium, so just let me through and try and defend Bran and let me have a shot. But we'll just have to wait and see what the Renaults decide in the race. Oh, big lock up there from Sandra Sohaug. Well, Paco, what do you think of Lee now then, still not using his ERS? Do you think he needs to use it to catch up with Lewis Curtis?
Nah, not really. I mean, I think Lewis Curtis, he had more pace. Well, yeah, now I think he should use ERS.
Lewis picks up a penalty.
He should try, to be honest. I mean, Lee's pace wasn't that bad. He just needs to get it all together, but with the penalty that Luis has now picked up, I think Lee has to push. I mean, he only has a chance to get a 2nd place. As we can see now, Edward pitting, he will be far behind from this group, but he will be on mediums, so that could be interesting. And Alfie, meanwhile, stays on track. He will probably end the race depending on where he pits, but I think he's looking forward to finish the race on softs. But as I say, we'll have to wait and see. And actually, hold on, because Legal is not that far
Yeah, he isn't actually that far behind. He probably can get into this train as well, to be honest. It's going to be very interesting. Yes, Louis, we just showed lap times on our brand.
Actually, I'm gonna keep in my POV gap to leader, because I want to see how much Alfie is gaining or losing, because if he's not losing that much, he could maybe stay until lap 19, 20 and go softs. But if he's losing, then I would pit for mediums.
Right now then, Brand is just behind Sandra Sohaug for now. And Brand's showing some strong pace then, so let's see what Brand can do as well. He picks up a 3-second time penalty, so he's also a person who's probably not going to get a podium now. Sandra though is keeping it up. He's a lot less ERS, 10% difference.
There we go.
This train is getting
Alfie
bigger and bigger.
pits.
And Alfie in the pit lane then, so he must have been losing time, he feels, and going mediums. Oh, look how close Brandon there gets in the braking zone over Sandra. He feels a lot more confident in the braking. And Brandon looking just for something, a miracle maybe, to try and get past this massive train. And right now he's losing time to drive behind.
Yeah. And let's see where Alfie gets. I mean, he'll probably get behind Edward. Well, actually.
Oh, Bran. Sorry, cut you off. Bran's just had a brilliant run. He's on the inside of Sondra Sohaug now. We finally see an overtake, and he's gone for it into the chicane. Brandon moves up to 7th. Sondra Sohaug drops to 8th place. So maybe that mistake cost him a lot of time. And as you said,
I don't know if Edward was behind Alfie or he was in front before pitting, but Alfie quite close from this group, and he's on medium. So honestly, I would put Alfie on the podium. I mean, I think he's gonna do it. We'll have to wait and see, but I think he could be on a good run for a podium today.
Yeah, as you said, yeah, he's ahead of Edward by a bit, actually, to be honest. 1.4 seconds, and he's actually with the train already. So he's got no penalties, and he's already getting in almost a good run on Sondra Sohaug. So Alf then, looking up there, he had a win this season, and that built up his confidence. So probably looking for another podium, as you've said. So let's not count out Alfie for now, as the train's now starting to separate a little bit between Sondra and Bran and Cameron. Sondra in 8th then, just trying to keep with this train. He's just losing time a little bit now, and I think those hards for him are not working. And yeah, it's going to be interesting what happens. Oh, Sondra almost loses the rear end there. It looked like Alfie hit him. But look at Alfie. As you said, those mediums are a lot more grippier than the hards.
Yeah, and actually Alfie makes the overtake on Sondre before the corner. He brakes much later, but Sondre will now try and have the traction. But yeah, that's the overtake done by Alfie, and he's now 5/10 behind Brandon Glover, which is on hard. So let's see how long it takes to Alfie to make the overtake on the Mercedes driver. But really good pace by the AlphaTauri, and as I said, I think it's going to finish on the podium. And I wouldn't be surprised if he catches Lewis. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, catches Lewis, I mean, with the penalty. Of course, I don't think he will catch it on track.
There's not enough time. Rocco then, as... Yeah, Alfie, he's flying right now. Sondra now is almost out of this train. Edward's now caught up with Sondra Sohaug. So we'll keep an eye on that fight as well, as we don't see Alfie is going to make a move this lap round. And Edward is currently set the fastest lap as well, a 1 minute 31.5. He's only 2/10 quicker than Matthew, and Matthew was on hard setting that lap. So has Matthew got any more pace in that Alfa Romeo to try and beat Edward's lap before he sets another flyer? As Edward is already on the back of Sondra Sohaug. Kevin Harrison picks up another penalty.
Yeah.
God, this grid is really close for 3rd place. Just look at the train.
I think next season we should remove Matthew. Like, honestly. I mean, look at this. Who needs Matthew when you have this? Oh, Brandon Glover. Oof. I mean, he's all over the back of that Renault. Probably he'll do the overtake on the next straight, but oh my god, that's really close. And I think Alfie could take advantage of this as well. So let's see what happens. But at the moment, Cameron looking quite weak, as he had a really horrible exit, and now the Mercedes could have a chance against that Renault. And yeah, I mean, look at that speed Bram. With the DRS. No, Brad, go for straight. There we go. He will go around the outside. Let's see. Oh, they bang wheels, but really nice, smooth overtake by Brandon Glover. I have to say, yeah. Unfortunate for the Norwegian, and now it's going to be Alfie. Let's see if Brandon gives him sloops or no. He's going to try and put him as difficult as he can, and I think he could make a double overtake here. He's going to go down the inside, really smooth overtake by the AlphaTauri, who still holds on, but really good defensive move by Brandon Glover around the outside. And I think the AlphaTauri...
Oh, Brandon just spins it out!
Oh, Brandon.
What are you playing at? Oh, Brandon just spins Alfie, and Alfie will be furious with that. He has lost so much time, and he was looking for a podium. Brandon Glover...
Oh, and Edward and the Renault making contact, but the Renault trying to hold on down the inside, but it's Lickle who has the overtake. And now Lickle trying to... Well, I don't know if Brandon will actually give him the overtake or not. But I have to say, Brandon deserves a big penalty for that. I mean, that was...
He deserves a man-lover penalty. That's what he deserves. Disgusting drive there from Brandon in 6th place. Just ruins Bugatti's race, but Bugatti is on fresh mediums, of course. He still has time, you know. Renault.
Whoa. Yep.
Cameron there goes really deep.
Cameron's struggling.
Yeah, I think the rears he needs to pit. It looks like that rear end is really unstable. Maybe to go for the fastest lap, possibly may not be getting points, but you know, it stopped drivers ahead of him getting that extra point. And look at Alfie now, making an overtake yet again. Re-overtakes Cameron Young.
Yeah, and he goes all over that corner, I have to say. And now looking to overtake Sondre again. And I have to say, I mean, I feel bad for Alfie because he was looking on a really good strategy. It's true that there's still 9 laps remaining, but he was doing so perfectly, you know. And that hit from Brand not only makes him go backwards in the field, it also hits you morally, you know. And I hope Alfie can recover from that and he can finish the race on a high, because he was doing a really solid job. So let's see how it affects him and if he can recover from that.
Yeah, it's true, and Lodi now is on the back of Cameron. So Lodi actually might be able to get a point after the disaster strategy he's made, and he's making a move. And Cameron then gives him the space, and Cameron then drops to 11th.
Surprised Cameron is not even trying to defend. I mean, he's been quite... he's having a lot of mercy, by saying it in that way. Not trying to defend, like not putting any difficulties. So... Not sure what is happening to Cameron. And now Alfie going for the move on Sondre. Easy overtake on the straight. Well, not as easy. The Norwegian driver has a good straight line speed, but as we can see, the Alpha Tauri sending it, and Sondre losing the position. But hold on, because he will now have slipstream, but I don't think he will try to make the overtake again. So Alfie behind Brand once again. What will happen now? This reminds me of...
Will it be Alfie hit Brand this time?
You know, although it's not a Red Bull, it still reminds me of Hamilton and Albon.
Yeah.
Last season. Poor Albon. I mean, I feel... I mean, I don't think he deserved this spot in F1, but... To be honest, he could have scored a win in Austria and he got win by Hamilton, and a podium in Brazil and he got hit by Hamilton. So I don't know what could have possibly happened, you know, if that didn't happen, because in the end that affects you morally. But yeah, let's stick to the game. At the moment, with 7 laps remaining, I have to say, Rocco is still quite close from Lee. I think he's waiting for the final laps to then try the overtake, as Edward picks up a 3-second time penalty.
That's his second.
Yeah. Fletty also waiting, probably, for the final laps. And then we have Alfie, which, despite the contact, he's once again behind Bran. I don't think he will make the overtake now, but if he gets a really good run, he could maybe try it on the next straight. But we'll have to wait and see. Really solid exit, but it won't be enough unless, well, actually, yeah, I think Bran lifted off. I'm pretty sure Bran lifted off there.
Oh, I just didn't use his ERS because that was a lot of straight line speed.
Yeah, but the Alpha Tauri didn't use that much. Well, actually, not sure of what happened there, to be honest.
To be fair, that does give you a boost. As Edward and Flay now fighting for P5 and P4 and P3 to try and get... Oh, Lico almost tries to send it on the inside. He has a 6-second penalty, so Edward's going to have to watch out. You know, he can't... You know, he can go for the position, but he knows that he needs to go for the position and pull a gap, and hopefully no contact is made. As he's 9/10 off his fastest lap, and as we said, I believe he still holds the fast lap, right? Yeah, 6:15. I've got a nice helicopter view now. And yeah,
and Alfie once again behind.
Oh, yeah. Brandon picks up a 3 second now. Another 3 seconds to him. So that's 6 seconds now. Brandon has caught. And yeah, it's very interesting and yeah, very intriguing.
Lico going for the move on Fletty.
Yeah. Side
by side. And yeah, I think it's going to be quite a straightforward overtake by the Merc driver. But the Alpha turret is not done yet.
Yes,
but he gives up, and it's now Alfie all over the... Actually, Alfie made the overtake as well on Brand, and he is now looking on his teammate. Will Fletty put things easy to his teammate? I don't know. It's going to be close. Let's see. Alfie looking on that slipstream. Is he gonna move to the right? Yes, it does. Down the inside, and the AlphaTauri lifts off. So it's now Alfie in P6 and looking tasty to try and get that P3 as we have yellow flags in sector 3. That's Cameron Young.
No, it's
oh,
not.
No, it's Andre.
It's Ball.
It's Andre.
And Jesus Christ! A 1 minute 30.8. Matthew Order sets the new fastest lap. This guy is ridiculous. Get him out. Get him gone. Mad lap there from Matthew. Great lap as well. And Sunderland, the bottle himself, spun and he's out of the DRS trim.
To be honest, I think that if Alfie didn't get that hit from Brown, he could have probably overtaken Luis. I mean, not Luis, but in penalties, I mean.
Definitely.
Because he has recovered and he's now again in that fight for third place. Imagine if he didn't get that hit. So.
And he could also go on fast lap as well, because he would have been in clean air, to be honest. So as well, he could have got that with the DRS boost. You know, I think it's just a bit silly driving there from Brand what happened, but you know, I think he's then, as you think he lifted off, as Lickwill now is trying to go for him and Rocco Walsh. He's absolutely just pushed him up the road. And he's gone for the inside, and he sends it into 4th position. He knows he's got a 6-second penalty. 1 lap 22 out of 27. Has he got enough pace, enough time? Oh yes, Kevin. Thank you very much. Go for that fastest lap. Go for a 29. I expect from you, Mr. Kevin Harrison.
Oh, this could be beautiful.
Oh my God! Look at Alfie.
Oh yeah. Edward around the outside. He's
look at
going,
Alfie on the
but
inside
he has
and
no
Rocco
room.
Walsh. On the inside of
Rocco
Walsh.
trying to hold on.
Now going on the outside in the next corner. This could end in tears.
Oh,
bit of wheel
back wheels. Oh, he's still there. He's gonna make it around the outside, and Edward hasn't made the overtake on Lee. So Alfie makes the overtake on Rocco, and he's still behind Edward. So we'll have to wait and see. Maybe Alfie still has a chance to try and reduce that gap to Luis. It will be interesting to see. But right now, Legal with barely ERS. Try the overtake on Lee, and he tried the dive.
Wing damage. Edward's got wing damage. Edward has got wing damage. End plate.
Yeah.
And Alfie's in the 4th.
And to be honest, that was a stupid move by Edward. I mean, he was faster than Lee. Why would he try to dive into that corner? You know?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know if it's the fact that he was on a pad and he's not used to it or what, but it was a silly move, to be honest. And now Rocco being overtaken by Brandon, which is up to 6. And Alfie waiting for the perfect opportunity to overtake Lee Kelly without any problem.
Yep. Alfie versus Lee Kelly then.
Oh, look at that.
But look at Lee Kelly's ERS. He's still got more.
He's using everything, but still not enough. Not enough from the Irishman, who will be overtaken by the AlphaTauri down the inside.
Keep it there. I've got to give Lee credit.
Oh, actually, beautiful. On the heights, he's holding up there in 3rd, and the AlphaTauri not able to do the job, to complete the job, actually. So he will have to wait for the next DRS, and that gives an opportunity to the people behind to still hold on to that fight. Despite the front wing damage, Legal still 4/10 behind. And I think Alfie's gonna do it here. Alfie's gonna do it here. Down the inside he goes. Lee, I don't think he's gonna try and defend from that. Maybe with DRS he will try and get it back on the long straight. But he will need the run of dreams through these corners. We can see how the AlphaTauri pulls away. But watch out, because not enough. 5/10. Hold on, because if Lee uses all his ERS, he could try the overtake.
It's gonna be
he's gonna do it. He's gonna dive it. Yeah, around the outside he goes. Oh, they make contact.
Off you go, game space. And they do.
Yeah, and he's gonna use a little bit more here. As we can see. Let's see. Now use the ERS. He's not.
Oh, 30.1 from Kevin Harrison.
Yep, new fastest lap. And I think this is the fight over. Because it was there or nowhere else. And I think Alfie is now gonna pull away. unless Lee Kelly is able to pull out a miracle, which I don't think will happen. And at the moment, this is all the fight over.
Yeah, it is. The only person who's actually managed to get past Lee Kelly is Alfie, so he just shot everybody else up who couldn't get past him, and it was actually quite easy for him. But look at Lee, he's still with him, to be fair. Lee's keeping up with him, within range. It's going to be a risk if he's going to go for a dive if he wants to go for it, but this is probably his last chance. There's no way he's going to keep up with him next lap if he doesn't get the overtake this done, because he's keeping up with traction.
Let's see the exit. It's going to be crucial here. 6:10.5 is a gap that separates the AlphaTauri from the Red Bull. He's going to use all his ERS, all the DRS. Let's see. He's closing on Alfie. Alfie is not using DRS, as you say. And let's see, because he might have it on the second straight. But I don't think it's going to be enough, though. I don't think he's going to use ERS. Well, actually, he does, but I don't think it's going to be enough. No.
And
Brandon makes the overtake on his teammate. Willie could try the overtake back, though, here. No, he has no one play. Which shows that it's not easy to keep up with that damage. And watch out to Fletty, because he could finish in 5th with all the penalties ahead of him.
Yeah, that's true. Still could get 4th if one of these drivers get a penalty. But Lee Kelly, though, he's still keeping up with Alfie, even though now the gap's like 9/10. So he's saving himself from getting attacked. There's one lap, 26 now out of 27, not that many laps remaining. Matthew Alder cannot pit now for fastest lap. No, he can't, no, because it would go lap 27. No, he can't pit then, so Matthew ain't going to get the fastest lap. Looks like Kevin has taken it. And Brandon picks up another penalty. Now, let's have a look at penalties then. He's now got 9 seconds. He'll get passed by Edward and basically everybody else, to be honest. I think he's going to drop the 10th, Brant. So, it's going to be interesting. Lee Kelly then just gets the DRS. Saved from Brandon's wrath this time. Rocco then in 7th. Could have got a podium if he didn't get a penalty. But Fleddy is looking comfortable for a 5th place finish as Lordy passes Cameron Young. Lewis picks up another 3 second. Lewis picks up another 3 second. Lewis is DNF!
Oh!
Lewis is out of the race, and this is Lee Kelly back in the bottom. We see there the Alfa Romeo in the wall there. It looks like he lost the rear, and Lewis Curtis, the crash happy driver he is, he has done it again. He has binned it on lap 26. The bottle is back into Curtis, and Lee Kelly's going to get another podium, it looks like, into 3rd position.
Rocco made a mistake, and he's
now
overtaken by the Haas.
Puncher.
Oh,
right
yes.
front. The hards have failed. He's got a puncher
Drama.
in the pits, and he's now lost position as well. This is kicking up a massacre strategy.
Watch out, because with Rocco, Lee also pitted on the same.
Well, to be fair, Cameron should have got a puncher as well, and same with Fleddy and so on and so on. You know, they're
we'll have to wait and see how much they force their tires, but it could be a puncture for them. And Brad is now looking tasty on Lee Kelly. Let's see what he does. Pitting some laps further on the race could give him now the advantage to try and overtake Lee Kelly. And who knows, maybe pull out a gap as Lee doesn't try to defend. He knows that he has the penalty advantage, so at the moment he keeps 2nd place, but we'll have to wait and see.
Lewis,
what?
You know Lewis's DNF? He might have actually got a puncher, to be honest, which caused that DNF. Let's have a look. He is telling chat. Yeah, he did. Puncher on the fast right-hander on the rear. So the car just stopped.
Two drivers with a puncture, and hold on, because we could get one more puncture. At the moment it doesn't feel like no one else is going to get it.
We'll go on board with Matthew Alder, who's literally just driving like a... Oh, Matthew's got a left front puncher! Matthew, left front puncher across the line! He is going to take the win. He's done a Hamilton, and he still wins on track with the puncher. Alfie then is going to take 2nd place. A good recovery drive, and look at that gap. 20 seconds? It's just mad. Matthew Alder then, in 1st place, takes the win. Alfie will take 2nd position. Brandon Glow will take 3rd on track, but Lee Kelly takes 3rd. Fleddy then will take 4th. Edward in 5th currently. Cameron Young in 8th.
What an ending.
9th. Sorry, 7th then. So he does come up the field a little bit. Rocco Walsh then will round the grid up in 10th position. He'll be a bit upset with that. Lewis Curtis will be frustrated not getting any more points and losing his podium position. But for us, it was a very crash-happy moment for Lewis Curtis as Rocco then takes 10th position and Kevin Harrison will round up the grid in 11th place. Well then, another amazing race. For 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, a massive fight. But yet again, Matthew, dominant at this track again, a gap of 17.7 seconds, wins at France yet again. That's Kevin Harrison then, coming around the final corner. And he just loses the round. I think he's going to do some donuts. Hopefully he doesn't and just goes to the finish line. Yeah, very interesting. Matthew then getting a left front puncher on the last lap. Imagine if that made him crash out and Alfie won. That would have been a very surprising result.
Yeah, it would have been drama in the final lap, to be honest.
Well then, let's go down the official results after the podium celebration then. Matthew, yet again, cannot be stopped. The only person who stopped him this season was Alfie. And for 3 seasons now, Matthew hasn't had a 100% podium or win streak. So he will be a bit disappointed for that this season, but he'll be happy to take probably another title very soon in the next couple of rounds. It'll probably be wrapped up. And Bugatti then into 2nd place, and Lee Kelly another podium position with a bit of luck at the Irish in the end. And here is your official results then. Matthew in 1st, Alfie 2nd, Lee Kelly in 3rd, Fleddy 4th, Edward in 5th. Good recovery drive, especially on pad, in 5th place. Brandon Glover 6th. Made a change in case anything's reported. So Andre in 7th, Lodi in 8th, Cameron Young in 9th, Rocco Walsh in 10th position, and Kevin Harrison rounds up the grid in 11th with 1 minute and 27 seconds behind the leader. And Lewis Curtis, the bottle himself, was 2 laps down with a DNF but still classified in 12th position. And the fast lap does go to Kevin Harrison. So Matthew yet again doesn't get the fastest lap, but he wasn't that far off compared to hards to softs. It's usually a 2-second gap, so not that bad after all from Matthew. And if you can invite the top 3 there, it would be great.
Okay, I'll invite them, but I have to attend an emergency in my house, so I'll invite them.
Yep, that's fine.
And I'll let you interview them.
Oh, okay. And it's good to see you on Stream Wilson. Maybe you should turn up next season and slap Matthew Alder. Be awesome to see. Maybe you, Louis. Could be a nice, interesting fight with Lewis Curtis. You know, just saying. We'll wait for the top 3 to join the party. As Paco is inviting them as we speak.
I invited them to the chat, so yeah, I'll try to be back before the stream ends.
Yeah, that's fine. Matthew smells cheese. Well then, Matthew is here. Alfie is here. Do you know if Lee Kelly's joining any of you two? Did he say he was joining? Well then, I'll start off with the race winner then. Matthew, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Well then, another win. Quite big win to be honest. It was 20 seconds even though you had a left front puncher near the end. How do you think your race went with the win of course, and yeah, another stolen fast lap opportunity. How do you think it went?
Well, the race was good. All my aim was to do was bet DRS, and then I knew that the gap would continue expanding from there. My soft pace wasn't much faster than Lewis's, but as soon as we got onto the hards, I was putting away a lot faster than I was on the softs. Got the gap out to like 21, 22 seconds, and then Lewis got an unfortunate puncture, which I just think is ridiculous how he can get a puncture and Lee didn't really. He had 91% at the end or something ridiculous. So, but yeah, it's not like he can do anything about that. And then obviously he got it on the rear as well, so he would have had no control. I got mine on the front, so I was able to just coast home. Just avoid spinning or anything. Even if I did spin, I would have been fine anyway. Yeah, I just lost a couple of seconds, but I still took the win anyway. So.
Well, yeah, as you are correct, you did take the win as well, and you did a Hamilton, taking the win with a puncher. So you just got the traits of a probably 7-time champion. But yet again, another dominant win today, and it's unfortunate what happened to Lewis. To be honest, it is your favourite track of the season, so I was actually expecting you to win anyway. But the next round out, I believe, is... Let's have a look. I did say what it was. It is Brazil. Where do you feel you're going to be around there in pace and position-wise?
I don't exactly like the track, but I can not like a track and I'll still be up to pace, I imagine. So probably just looking to take a pole, and then if I break DRS, take a nice win.
Okay. Well, congratulations on the results today with a puncher. This guy cannot be stopped, and you're looking very comfortable for your next title. And congratulations and thanks for the interview. Well then, Mr. Alfie, then I think this is the second time you've been on the podium interviews. One in Hungary and a second today. How would you feel with that result in the end?
Not too bad, considering I hadn't done a lap of this track until the lights went out, or the formation lap, sorry. So yeah, not too bad. Just wanted to have a bit of fun, so I decided to start last. Managed to get away through the field, had a little spin, I don't know if you've seen it, but had a little spin with Bran. Got some good overtaking and battles, so yeah, P2, quite happy.
Well, yeah, we did actually catch that on stream. Bran just completely misjudged his braking point at you in the rear end, and me and Paco felt Bran was in the wrong. But I think in the end he actually did a sportsman's gesture where he just like backed off and let you back through. In the end, as you gained a lot of time back, and even with that mistake, you're flying through the pack, and you were looking for third, and then Lewis, unfortunately with the puncher, of course. Then you got second, so it was a good, strong form for you today, especially starting at the back as well. I believe near the back on hards, and it was a very interesting race. Do you think then, with the rest of the season, you could get more podiums, like Brazil, of course? Do you think you could get another podium there?
Probably. I mean, on pace, I think I'm the third fastest driver here, so realistically, podium most weeks should be what I get. But things don't always pan out the way you want when you're in the midfield. But yeah, I think a few more podiums this season would be very good.
That's good to hear then. Well, as Paco, if Paco was here, he would actually be asking you a question. Unfortunately, he had to run off to an emergency. But it looks like Lee Kelly isn't going to be joining, so thank you, Alfie and Matthew, for joining the interviews, and congratulations on the results. And hopefully you have good luck for the next round out. Well then, this has been International Racing League, IRL F1 tier, roundabout at France. I've been your commentator, IRL Neon, or it's Jared Fosbury. If you guys want to see some more action-packed racing, join us next week, Saturday at 4:30 UK time for the F1 tier. But if you want to see some interesting racing tomorrow, F2 and F3, 4:30 UK time, and FP on Wednesday, 8 o'clock. We guys see you then, and have a good day.